And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
In a year already marked by media misfires and failed franchise reboots, Disney's $200 million live-action remake of Snow White has emerged as one of the most controversial cinematic disasters of 2025.
They had to shut her up, which was the smartest move they made, but the onus is all on her and Disney's reaction to it. And quite frankly, if she has said nothing, her movie, probably still forgettable, would have done a lot better.
Marketed as a modern reimagining of the beloved fairy tale, the film was positioned by Disney executives as a revolutionary step forward, one that embraced progressive storytelling, feminist themes, and new cultural interpretations. But beneath the polished PR campaign, industry insiders revealed concern that the project had ballooned far beyond its creative scope. With constant script rewrites and internal disagreements plaguing production, despite the company's efforts to package Snow White as both nostalgic and groundbreaking, audience expectations did not align with Disney's vision. Following an aggressive promotional cycle, the film's initial release met lukewarm interest and early skepticism. Investors and fans alike questioned whether tampering too heavily with the classic story risked alienating the very demographic Disney hoped to excite. The gamble proved too ambitious. Now, with ticket sales stagnating and merchandise underperforming, the once promising reboot has become a financial warning shot, one that may influence the studio's direction for years to come. Just 2 years ago, Rachel Zegler was hailed as one of Hollywood's brightest rising stars, with a breakout performance in West Side Story that earned her critical acclaim and fast-tracked her to Disney's inner circle. Cast as the titular character in Snow White, her selection was initially celebrated as a win for representation and youth appeal. But Zegler's off-screen behavior quickly sparked backlash. During early press interviews, she openly mocked the original Snow White tale, dismissing its themes as outdated and calling the prince character a man who literally stalks her. Her comments, delivered with a mix of sarcasm and defiance, struck many as tone-deaf and dismissive of fans who cherished the 1937 classic. Rather than softening her approach, Zegler doubled down in follow-up appearances, continuing to deride the story's romantic core. As Disney executives watched the situation unfold, concerns mounted. What began as a promising casting choice slowly turned into a public relations liability. Industry insiders revealed that Zegler's combative tone wasn't just improvisation. It reflected a deeper rift between the actress and the studio's traditional branding. And in the echo chamber of social media, every quote, clip, and soundbite became ammunition for a growing chorus of critics as promotional clips circulated online. Rachel Zegler's remarks took on a life of their own. Memes mocking her statements flooded TikTok and X, while YouTubers dissected her interviews frame by frame. Fueling growing sentiment that the actress was out of touch with her audience, the hashtag boycott Snow White began trending weeks before the film's premiere. Right-leaning commentators declared it another case of woke Hollywood going too far, while moderate voices questioned the wisdom of promoting a children's film through political statements. Zegler's most viral moment came when she told critics, "If you don't like it, don't watch it," a phrase many interpreted as contempt for the very fans Disney hoped to attract. The internet did not forgive or forget. Reddit threads chronicled her perceived missteps, and even casual Disney supporters began expressing doubts about whether to support the film. By mid-April, several high-profile creators had called for a boycott, citing the disrespectful tone and agenda-driven messaging of the film's promotional campaign. Despite attempts by the studio to reframe the narrative, public sentiment had shifted decisively. Zegler's image was no longer one of a young star embracing a classic role. It was of an activist actress criticizing the legacy she was hired to celebrate. The box office results confirmed what many suspected: Snow White was a commercial failure. With an estimated global gross of just $190 million, well below the break-even point when factoring in marketing and production costs, the film rapidly joined the ranks of Disney's most expensive flops. In the first weekend, ticket sales failed to match even modest projections. And by week 3, theaters were already cutting showtimes to make way for more profitable titles, including the surprise hit, Minecraft, the movie. Analysts noted a particularly steep drop-off in second-week attendance, a metric often linked to poor word-of-mouth. Meanwhile, international markets traditionally Disney's stronghold showed little enthusiasm. While some blamed review bombing and politicized backlash, others pointed to more straightforward issues. Audiences simply didn't connect with the film's tone, characters, or message. For Disney, the financial implications are severe. Beyond lost revenue, the film's failure casts doubt on future live-action remakes, particularly those that veer heavily from their source material. In boardrooms across Burbank, executives began re-evaluating upcoming projects and reconsidering the risks of tying political messaging too closely to box office hopes. Asterisk, in the wake of the film's underperformance, Disney began quietly severing ties with Rachel Zegler. Reports surfaced that several upcoming collaborations involving the actress had been put on hold or outright canceled. While no official statements were made, insiders leaked that studio leadership was disappointed by Zegler's combative public image and its impact on the film's reception. Moreover, merchandising deals tied to her likeness stalled, and key producers who had championed the project faced internal scrutiny. Projects linked to the Snow White expanded universe, including a rumored Prince spin-off and animated prequel, were scrapped indefinitely. Disney's traditional damage control tactics, like shifting blame to market conditions or timing, failed to gain traction. Shareholders began asking tougher questions about decision-making at the executive level. For a company that built its reputation on family-friendly storytelling, the situation with Zegler marked a sharp deviation from past PR strategies. The silence from Disney was telling. Rather than defending the film or its star, the studio chose to let the backlash burn itself out, quietly preparing for the next release in hopes of moving past the controversy as quickly as possible. Instead of dialing down her rhetoric, Rachel Zegler took to social media to defend her statement, and in doing so, reignited the controversy. "My political beliefs are mine, and I won't apologize for them," she posted in one of several defiant responses to criticism. Her refusal to acknowledge any responsibility drew further ire, with critics accusing her of playing the victim. Zegler framed the backlash as a consequence of cancel culture, suggesting she was being targeted for speaking out about issues that mattered. But many observers noted the timing. Her most inflammatory comments had come not in personal spaces, but during press tours explicitly tied to the film's marketing. By conflating artistic promotion with political advocacy, Zegler blurred the lines in a way that left her and the movie vulnerable to scrutiny. Her insistence on making the film a platform for broader social commentary clashed with Disney's traditional escapism, and that tension played out publicly in every interview, tweet, and viral clip. In trying to stay true to her values, Zegler may have unintentionally alienated the very audience she needed to win over. Hollywood insiders are calling the Snow White fallout a wake-up call. Studios have long encouraged stars to embrace activism, but Zegler's case exposed the risks of blurring marketing with ideology. Publicists, managers, and producers are reportedly rethinking how talent is coached for press events, particularly when promoting content aimed at broad or family-oriented audiences. Zegler's downfall has already become a case study in what not to do during a high-stakes promotional campaign. Some actors privately expressed sympathy, arguing that she was set up to fail by a studio unwilling to control the narrative. Others, however, saw her as reckless, too inexperienced to understand the power of her own words. The entertainment press now closely monitors how studios handle politically charged content and whether they insulate their talent from polarizing commentary. In the post-Zegler era, more cautious messaging strategies may become the norm, especially for legacy brands like Disney. PR firms across Los Angeles are using the Snow White case as a lesson for younger stars. Don't let your brand speak louder than your performance. The failure of Snow White is not just about one actress or one film. It signals a deeper identity crisis within Disney itself. Over the past decade, the studio has attempted to modernize its stories to reflect evolving cultural values, but the results have been uneven at best. Films like The Marvels, Lightyear, and now Snow White have struggled to find mass-market appeal, sparking criticism that Disney has lost touch with what audiences actually want. In trying to push bold, progressive narratives, the company appears to have forgotten the delicate balance between innovation and tradition. The Snow White debacle highlighted how far the studio is willing to stray from original source material in an attempt to stay relevant, even if it means alienating longtime fans. Critics say the studio is prioritizing social commentary over storytelling, leading to content that feels forced rather than inspired. Within Disney's own creative ranks, sources claim morale is low, with creators confused about the direction they're expected to follow. The tension between legacy and modernity has never been more obvious, and Snow White may be the most public casualty of that confusion. What was meant to be a milestone in storytelling has become a cautionary tale of corporate overreach and creative miscalculation. For Rachel Zegler, the consequences extend far beyond a single bad film. Her status as a promising Hollywood lead is now in question, with multiple studios reportedly hesitant to cast her in upcoming projects due to fears of audience backlash. Some casting agents have described her as radioactive, not because of her acting ability, which remains widely respected, but due to the polarizing aura now surrounding her name. Zegler's defenders argue that male actors have weathered worse scandals and bounced back, pointing out the double standard in how controversy impacts women in the industry. Still, optics matter, and for now, her presence is seen as a liability rather than an asset. Despite this, Zegler has remained firm in her messaging, refusing to recant or walk back any of her statements. That defiance has won her support from certain progressive circles, but it has yet to translate into commercial viability. Whether she can mount a comeback may depend less on her talent and more on her ability to rebuild trust with a disillusioned audience. For now, she stands at a career crossroads: evolve and adapt, or remain a symbol of one of Hollywood's most preventable PR implosions in recent memory. As Snow White quietly disappears from theaters and awaits its delayed Disney Plus debut, the entertainment industry is left to absorb the lessons. Chief among them, modernizing a classic doesn't guarantee success, especially when the adaptation discards the emotional core of what made the story timeless. Disney's attempt to reframe Snow White as a politically charged feminist allegory alienated its base and failed to generate new enthusiasm. At a time when the company is already navigating a streaming identity crisis, park attendance dips, and increased competition from independent creators, it cannot afford to continue down a path that disconnects from its legacy. Financial analysts warn that future projects will likely face increased scrutiny, not only from investors, but from audiences who are growing more skeptical of reboots that feel like lectures instead of entertainment. The irony, of course, is that in trying to appeal to everyone, Disney may have appealed to no one. As Hollywood recalibrates its messaging and its methods, Snow White stands as a reminder that storytelling must come first, and if Disney truly wants to honor its legacy, it may need to stop chasing cultural trends and start listening to the audiences who made its brand iconic in the first place.